Alright, welcome to the MovieJar podcast, the podcast where we talk about film and we give cookies to characters and we genuinely talk shit. My name's Alex and I hate the Paw Patrol.
I'm Kaya, I'm a film student and also hate Paw Patrol.
I'm a kindy teacher. I'm Cameron, and I really hate Paw Patrol.
I'm unemployed. Adam Sandler
Yippee!
is great.
Adam
You should.
Sandler, we love
Adam
Adam
I
Sandler.
love
Sandler.
Adam
Film.
Sandler. Adam Sandler.
Before
Adam
we get
Sandler, what are
started,
you
though,
doing
My
here?
car
before we
has
go
at
gone
the
medium
medium
Pace.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Okay,
Okay.
for context,
For
for
our
context,
viewers,
when we
we
watched
watched
Nobody.
the film last night. We watched Nobody, and last night we just kept bringing up Adam Sandler's peak of his career when he made the song at a medium pace. If you've never listened to it before, please pause the podcast and listen to it or the Alvin and the Chipmunks
I,
version.
I am taking credit.
No, not the
I am
fucking
taking
Alvin and the
credit for
Chipmunks
mentioning
version.
that. Wait, there's a Chipmunks version?
Well, yeah,
Hold on.
because okay, so
Chipmunk
basically,
Alvin
basically, viewers, Chris brought up the song, and as we were watching it's a scene where "What a Wonderful World" plays. Alex said to me, "Hey, Kaya, what if you edited it but with a medium pace?" And I did it, and then I found a Saul Goodman AI version, and I did that as well. So,
Yeah.
anyway, Alex, would you like to introduce the film for today?
Okay, I'll introduce the film. Sorry, Chris just posted the video of Alvin and the Chipmunks singing it. The film today is okay. Okay,
Guys, please, guys, please.
Oh
Alvin and the
shit, the
Chipmunks
bottle's
yet.
stuck in my head.
Guys, please, I'm gonna have to edit this out, please.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me introduce the film today. The film today we're reviewing is the film Nobody. I specifically chose this film because Better Call Saul is my favorite TV show in existence, and Bob Odenkirk is my partner and I's baby girl. This film is this film.
Give me the goddamn kitty cat bracelet.
We will be reviewing this at a medium pace.
We'll be reviewing this at a very medium pace because this film is is we are not reshooting this. We're doing this in one take.
One take,
Is
no
Okay,
cut.
okay, Alex, explain what the plot of
This film
Nobody
is a-
is. Or the vibe.
This film is a an action film first and foremost, and last and foremost. It is about a guy who's a family man whose daughter's kitty cat
He-
bracelet goes missing, and then he decides he wants to beat the shit out of some people in a fucking bus, and the plot just sort of
Watch me
spirals from
whack
there.
off.
Look, man. Look, man, he's just nobody.
Man, it's John Wick at a medium
It's
pace.
okay,
This is
it's
John
is
Wick 5.
is unserious John Wick. That's basically
Yeah.
it. That's
Ooh.
basically how you the
Now,
man's special ops.
I will admit, when I picked this film, I had high accolades from Cameron, because Cameron and I are both Breaking Bad fans, and Cameron and I both also love Bob Odenkirk. I'm gonna pass the mic to Cameron. Cameron, what do you think about Nobody?
This is when I first watched it back in 2021. I had already been watching Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad at the time. So I was like, "Oh, hey, Bob Odenkirk. Yeah, okay. He's a really good actor. This will be amazing." But he's not usually known for like very serious action roles at all. This was like his first action role. And this is also from the director of Hardcore Henry.
Oh, no
So,
way.
when those two come together, you get one of my favorite action films of all time. I have never like enjoyed a action movie as much as this one, other than maybe the other John Wick films. And it's ironic that it's written and produced by some of the same people who did the previous. So is it the is it 2, 3, and 4, or 1, 2, and 3 for John Wick?
It's probably at the time it was probably 2, 3, and 4, but let me just check IMDb. You just keep
Oh,
talking.
2021. So yeah, it would be 1, 2, and 3. Um,
Yeah, it's 1, 2, and 3. The writer did 1, 2, 3. Characters were created, but yeah. So he did 1, 2, and 3, and then didn't do the fourth one.
yeah.
Or the Continental miniseries starring everyone's favorite anti-Semite, Mel Gibson.
Yippee!
Ayy.
So just to put it out there, when Alex put, was it Alex? You put it on your list?
I put it.
Yeah. When I saw that this was on Alex's list on the wheel, I was like, I was getting giddy. I was laying on the bed, feet up, kicking. You know,
Is this like that Vine? This is like the guy on
my
the
high
phone, and he just
my
like
high school crush had just
he's like
texted me.
giggling. He jumps on the guy. It's like, ah, Ryan. That was you.
Yeah, that was essentially it. But it was like, oh my god, Bob Odenkirk.
Oh my god, so good, man.
You know, yeah.
I'm representing you, Albuquerque.
Yeah, look, man.
Because
I
Now
think,
watch
I
me
think,
whack
when you
off.
I
watch
think by the
this-
end of this movie, Hutch needs a really, really good lawyer. I don't think he realizes that he has rights.
Yeah. No. So the movie was made in between season 5 and 6 of Better Call Saul being released, which is if you've watched Better Call Saul,
It's some of its best seasons.
it
Not to
it's
spoil anything.
probably it. If anything, season 5 was probably the best warm up Bob Odenkirk could have had for this role.
Well, apparently
Yeah,
I
no, I
heard
remember in the
that he
hot-
like
I remember in the
trained for
hot
like
one-
2 years for this role or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
In between when he was recording season 3, Bob, I know this because I watched the Hot Ones interview, but like apparently during season 3 of Better Call Saul is when Bob Odenkirk really started to be taking acting seriously. He mentions that like beforehand he was more of a comedy guy, and he knew he could act, but he could act in a comedy role. When during season 3 and during the whole production of Better Call Saul, he really started to get into the mindset of like proper acting, not just being like a comedy character. So that kind of makes sense for this movie because he does really pull some stuff out that I was like, oh, this is slightly different than Saul, which was nice, you know.
There is a difference between this character, Hutch. It's Hutch, right?
Hutch.
Yeah, it's Hutch.
Sorry, or the only two names that I remember is David and is it Edward?
Edward.
Edward?
No.
No, is it Edward? Is it
Who are
is
you?
it Eric or Edward? I'm
Who are you
forgetting
talking
now.
about?
Who am I thinking of?
Who are you talking about?
Hold on.
Like
It was
the brother, the half brother dude, or the bad guy?
Michael Ironside's role. Eddie Williams. So yeah,
Who's Eddie?
Eddie Williams was the. Hang on. I'll show you a photo of him.
We literally watched this last night, folks, and I do not remember half of it. This is why I take notes.
I think you'll recognize him when you see him. Hold on.
Probably.
Well,
Oh,
while
that
Cameron
guy.
does that,
Oh my god.
oh, yeah,
The
him.
father-in-law. Okay. The guy who we bought the place
Yeah.
from.
puts down like 10 gold bars. I'm buying this place. What deal?
Yeah. So yeah, David and Eddie. And I only remember David because before rewatching the film today, because I was like, okay, I should rewatch it just in case to keep it fresh in my mind. Because that's fucking Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the
I know.
Future.
Bro, the second that he showed up on screen, Alex was like, is that Back to the Future?
Yeah. Why does he have a shotgun?
Who gave him a shotgun?
Yep. Okay.
Who
Who gave
this
him a
500-year-old
shotgun?
man a shotgun?
Okay. Chris, what did you think on the film? You like action and people being like brutally eviscerated.
Yeah, it's campy. It's a good movie. I reckon that I'd probably show this to someone who was like 15, and they'd probably like it. It's just a good campy film. Comfy. You know, you get to see people die and get beaten to death by a fucking teapot, and then you mention Adam Sandler, and
He
all
gets
of
a
a
kettle
sudden it's
shoved
just
into the
like
back
at
of
a
his
medium
head.
pace edits.
I mean, Alex,
It's
well,
great.
last night after
Yeah,
you left to go to like the
it's an
bathroom or something, we
experience.
we asked your partner, and even they were like, "Yeah, I don't like usually like action movies, but like I really liked this one." So, oh my
Yeah, I love when
ants.
Bob Odenkirk runs with a riot shield at a medium pace.
Medium pace has
Oh
become Chris's new
God,
million
Genuinely, that
star.
was
I
my favorite scene in the entire film.
Very
Uh,
different
stop,
podcast episode from last
please.
week's.
It hurts.
so,
Yeah, Kyle, what did you think?
I fucking loved it. Oh my god. I did not I
Very
did
good.
not think I was gonna like it. I'll be completely honest. I'm like, okay, it's this sort of is John Wick, okay? It's a basic action film. It's probably going to be a little bit boring, really cliche, but no, I fucking love this shit. It was camp, it was fun, and like I think and it's unserious, and I think it's okay for unserious films to exist and be like fucking good. Like it's a good fucking film, and I really fucking liked it. Probably I'd probably give it like at least an 8 out of 10.
Again, I will
I thoroughly
restate this.
enjoyed
This is
it.
by the same person who made Hardcore Henry.
I have no idea what that film is.
It's the
Hardcore
first-person
Henry
action
was
film.
Yes, the one
it
filmed
was a
in first
first-person
person.
action film that was like, yeah, it's a first-person action film, guys. Did you know it's been in first person, guys? It's a
Oh, it's
first-person.
that one with the
Did you know that
fucking
Yeah.
on the set of
flamethrower
Lord of
button
the...
thing.
Yeah, it was really stupid.
So,
It's the same director, isn't it?
Yeah, same director.
Yeah, yeah.
so I'm curious. So we've all praised it. Alex, you seem to not like it. What are your thoughts on it?
I didn't like it.
Really?
I'd give it a solid 4 out of 10.
Hmm?
Okay, all right.
You give it a what?
Alex
Four
has
out
been
of 10
kicked off
for
the
me.
podcast
Wow.
now.
Oh,
Okay,
you
well,
were
you know, it's
laughing your ass off to
yeah,
start.
I
You
was laughing my ass off because it's an objectively stupid movie. I don't know, I sound like Ricky Gervais. Okay,
Yes.
no, can I explain myself?
no. Yes.
You have 5 minutes, max.
Go on.
So, look, the movie's funny, I'll admit, and Bob Odenkirk is a bit of a gem because I literally could not see him as anything else but Saul Goodman. It's like the Mr. Bean effect. And I thought that some parts of the movie were a little bit, you know, silly in a fun way. Um, but I also kind of was a bit troubled by like the general messaging and acting of all of these characters. Because I get it, it's an action film, right? And I've watched action films. Actually, recently, and this will be the core of my argument, I watched Monkey Man in cinemas. Monkey Man is Dev Patel's, thanks mum, is Dev Patel's, Dev Patel's like first outcoming as a director, and it is a brilliant movie with absolute amazing messaging. To me, it revolutionizes the action genre as a whole, because what my partner and I both agree on is action films aren't really that nice to watch a lot of the time because the characters aren't that deep, and sometimes it just results down to I gotta beat up the bad guy because I gotta beat up the bad guy. Some people that works, for me it doesn't.
Okay, but I think that's an unfair comparison because
No,
they're
no,
just
no,
at a
hold on. It
basis.
isn't. It isn't because after watching both movies, they're very similar, dealing with ideas of vengeance and discontent with society. But when Monkey Man takes it on the level of living in current day, modern day India, where the class divide between the upper class and the lower class is so big, and it deals with themes of like the upper class, basically like torturing the lower class and being completely okay with systemic violence against minorities and rising up and fighting back. It's a brilliant movie. You should watch it. This one approaches it from like such an incel conservative way of mind. He is literally this is a manhwa for white dudes in the suburbs. Like
Yeah. Okay.
The guy is like, I'm ex special forces, but I decided to live a normal life because I just simply wanted to see what it was like. But this world, it keeps me down. And when the bus scene came up, I'll admit, I found it funny. It's very well choreographed. God, it felt like something you'd see on like r/nice guys. It was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I gotta protect the women, and I gotta beat up people and like give a guy a tracheotomy. It's
Okay.
so
Do you mind if
aggressively.
I make a point here?
I okay, fine.
Alright. One is a serious film, the other is not.
No, no,
Yeah, I
It's
here's
was
the
not a
about to
message.
say
serious
No,
this
no,
film.
no,
film
no,
is not meant
no,
to be
no.
taken
Here's the
seriously, and
thing.
I really don't. It's not meant
No,
to be a commentary on society at all.
no, no.
Monkey Man
Here's
is
the
a great
thing.
film,
It
but
is. It
what,
is
what do you
because
mean?
How?
this film was based on an idea by Bob Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk said that he was frustrated with how the authorities dealt with a situation when he stopped people who had broken into his house and he trapped them in the basement. He was frustrated with how the authorities had handled it, and he was like, "I wonder what it would be like if I took it into my own hands and I was badass." And while yes, part of the film is a little bit funny, a lot of action movies are funny in that kind of way. Like, have you ever tried watching Die Hard? Shit's
Yes.
hilarious because he's crawling through the vents like a fucking gremlin. But I still have an issue with how Die Hard portrays its central themes. I mean,
What
I
are the
just
central themes of this film again?
the central themes of this film is, oh, I'm ex-special forces, and I tried to live a life that where I could be like, all sorts of, I could be all sorts of like, family man and whatnot, but my son hates me, I'm emasculated at work, and I just want to let loose and kill a bunch of guys in brutal ways. And his dad is like some
Then
old
that's not a
dude.
message, it's just like
No, but
bullshit
that
that's
is the
happening.
message. That is the message. The message is that, oh yeah, sometimes it's an indulgence of that power fantasy that a lot of like, particularly white suburban American guys feel of like it's like gun nuts fantasizing about people breaking into their homes so they can kill them with their guns, like Second Amendment weirdos. That's just the entire vibe I got from the film. And I don't know, it made it outside of the Adam Sandler jokes and just the sheer hilarity of how he gets some of these guys. For the most part, it was just kind of a dull film. It was fun, but it's like a double cheeseburgers at McDonald's. Sometimes you watch it and you're like, damn, that was really good. But if you think about it and you're chewing it for a little bit too long, it just gives me a bad vibe.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I don't disagree with you there. I just think that it fundamentally is different from Monkey Man because Monkey Man has a greater message that revolves around anti-fascism and industrialist governments, as well as it's like religious fascism or something like that, something
I
like that,
mean, yeah,
and
it's
anti
really it's
that.
really deep into the it gets really deep into the roots of like it gets really deep into the roots of problems within India as a whole right now. But I don't know. I feel like yes, Monkey Man did have a higher attention to detail there. But to say that this film doesn't have any form of like messaging or appeal in that political sense when it is again just a power fantasy for suburban white dudes. I don't know. I fundamentally disagree that you because Monkey Man is also a very funny film. It has its times of
I've
humor.
watched Monkey Man. That is a brutal film that I
It's a brutal film, but there were moments where it had like good physical comedy, like when he's trying to break out the window and he just like fucking he just fucking like gets pushed back and then he has to like go somewhere else. Yeah.
I just it was too much adrenaline in that moment for me. I didn't get the laugh aspect of that, no. But
I know
listen,
I'm open for rebuttal, but I'm gonna give this movie a stern 4 out of 10
I
because it had
just
Bob
sort of
Odenkirk
feel
in it.
like
That
you're
boosted up
taking
the
it too
numbers.
seriously.
Yeah.
It's
No, no, no,
not
no, no.
meant
Okay.
to be a
Okay.
serious
I
film.
have I have thoughts. I have thoughts. I'm raising my hand. Hey, teacher. What's
Okay.
up? Um. Okay. First off, I'm with you on the fact that this does seem like a bit of a power fantasy. Yes, I
It is a
agree.
power fantasy. John Wick is a power
Um,
fantasy. This is basically the same film.
Chris,
Yeah,
be
I still
quiet.
have the same issue with John Wick. Shut up, Chris.
Ooh.
Yes, I have issues regarding the thing that this is, oh, oh, it's the Russians. Oh, ex-CIA agent. Yes. But with the same thing as John Wick, that's purely a background. And I'm only talking about the first movie here. The rest of the movies do end up taking that somewhere. Um, but I think it should not be something to drastically reduce the film to a 4 out of 10 when everything else about this movie is so great.
I just think
Because it's
that
an action film. What are you really expecting from that unless it's actively going for it?
Yeah, like the whole Monkey Man
I think
comparison is a
expectations
little.
need to be lowered.
Yeah, like Monkey Man was
I have not
made for
watched
a
Monkey
different
Man.
purpose.
I have not watched Monkey Man yet. I will be soon, so I cannot talk on that front. But I think regarding action movies, expectations should be lowered.
okay. I have a thing here where it's just got such stupid rationalizations for the action that you can't take it seriously. Therefore, it enters the zone where you don't take the inferred message seriously.
Like
So,
uh,
like
as
the
as I've
rationale was kitty cat bracelet. Like
yeah.
they bring that up at the end again to highlight how fucking stupid this is. And like you come into the fucking end scene where the guys are fucking going into the shop and they're just getting fucked over by traps like in Home Alone.
Yeah, he's
And
literally just
there's just
Kevin.
dozens of these people not taking up firing positions or anything. How can you take that seriously in any sense? It's stupid. Now, I will bring up there's a couple scenes in Monkey Man that I found really stupid, but also very cool because they are serious situations, and you are on the streets of India where there are, of course, dangerous individuals, especially if you have like slums, but and that's in a slum environment. And the axe scene is something that I found very. It's such a disconcerting thing. Like they just have this guy with an axe come out and appear and fight the dude and that was funny as hell to me. But it's also like it doesn't detract from the seriousness of the film, I think. So it's a difference in like action
Purpose.
and
Yeah.
levity of that. Now, I think that you probably disagree with me, but
I'm letting
yeah,
you finish before I
I'm
make
done.
any point.
I am done.
Okay, may I have some may I look why I yada I'm going down swinging.
On,
Okay?
I'll set a time of 5 minutes.
Oh my fucking
No, I
I'm being
fucking god.
serious.
I
Okay, I get all your points of like you gotta turn your brain off, but
I mean I didn't really get to make my
just
point,
think.
but
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Kaya.
I
I
think
apologize.
nobody isn't made to be taken seriously. Monkey Men is. They're made for different purposes, so you really can't compare the two of them. Um, like if you're going to compare two serious action films, you would compare John Wick to Monkey Man because John Wick is meant to be taken seriously. You wouldn't compare Nobody to Monkey Man. You can compare John Wick to Nobody because it's basically the same fucking plot. Let's be honest, just a bit more absurd. Um, but they're completely made for different purposes, and it's not really a movie meant to be taken seriously. So
Oh,
I, I
okay,
don't really
you've said
get
that
why it's
you've
like
said that a
I
few times, so may
I
I may I
I
please rebut?
can I finish?
Okay, fine.
I think like the whole you're right that it's a power fantasy, but it's not really about society. It's about the fact that like Hutch is trying to like change who he is as a person
Okay. Chris,
and like
restart that
failed.
timer.
Why is Chris muted?
I don't know
So I
actually.
don't talk during Alex's bullshit. Anyway,
Okay,
uh,
thanks.
yeah.
Um, so I'm going to refute the idea this movie is not meant to be taken seriously, okay? Because it is never stated to be a satire by anyone who worked on the film. It is never stated by it's stated to be lighter in tone than John Wick, but it's written by the same guy who made John Wick and has made multiple other action films. Thoroughly refute the idea that the guy who made that was like, oh, let me make a satire on something I've already done. Now, on the topic of it's not meant to say much about society, I also disagree on that. The whole film at the start sets up the perils of living in suburban life as someone who lives as like a sort of like a neutered family man. The whole thing is that Hutch only gets his masculinity back, or at least gets to show off his masculinity when he's like, oh yeah, I'm finally going back to killing people. The I don't really care about the Russian thing. It's an action film. The Russians are gonna catch strays. Uh,
Yeah, like
there's no
It's
I
James
don't
way to
know.
Bond.
avoid that. I
I,
also
I think I think the whole thing of like Russians always being the bad guys in terms of action movies, it's way overdone.
but like
That's my problem
the
with it.
whole idea, I thoroughly also disrepute as someone who has looked into sort of like white America's obsession with wanting to kill home invaders. Um, that this film isn't meant to be taken seriously in any way. I think it's lighthearted, but I think it appeals so much to that sense of I'm just a nobody in this world, and all of my coworkers emasculate me and talk down to me, and they don't want to, and I can't achieve things. My wife doesn't have sex with me. Um, and my son doesn't like me, but if I could just fight back against the world, then I'd get the respect. I'd kiss the girl. I'd buy a house with a pond, and I wouldn't live in this terrible suburban existence. And I don't think it's really good that the film's message is that Hutch was a trained killer and then proceeded to try and live a life, but then got bored of that life and then went back to it. Christopher Lloyd's character mentions that living in an old folks' home, he got bored and he missed killing people, and this is what actually gives him purpose in life. Which is just, come on, man.
I mean, it's, yeah, modern suburbia is fucking boring. Yes.
Yeah, but the answer shouldn't be, oh yeah. But the answer to this film is like, oh yeah, here's a little indulgence in killing a bunch of people who try and get into your house. I also found, um, I also found that like the movie was just kind of cringe in certain aspects. Like the whole line of "I've never seen a black Russian before" was like, ah, that's a bit cringe. I liked Yulian. Yulian was a fun character, but
I have things to say
I don't
about
know.
Julian later.
I don't know. I just find the core tenant, message, and indulgence of the film to be bad. And I think the answer of you have to turn your brain off to watch it isn't good because that's essentially saying, yeah, the film has flaws, but if you just ignore it, you'll have a hell of a time. Because, no, I've seen plenty of action films which have been able to not necessarily make big commentary on society, but have meaningful and doesn't have to be deep, but meaningful and interesting characters. I bring up Monkey Man because these are two very similar films. They deal with very similar themes if you dig down to the deep of it, but one comes from a genuine wanting to engage with the question, and the other just comes from oh yeah, comes from like a more wide understanding of, oh yeah, wouldn't it be cool if I was badass and I could just brutalize people on a bus? So that's my piece. I just think the film was a little bit cringe in that aspect, and I think as someone who likes to dive deep into the media I watch, I was thoroughly disappointed with this film, and so it gets a 4 out of 10.
I
It's
mean,
only a 4 out of 10 because I chuckled whilst I was going through it, and I found the film just so stupid.
I wouldn't exactly call it like satire, but it's sort of like it's like it's self-aware, you know. Chris, stop typing your fucking timer. I swear to God,
Yeah, Chris,
it's
please stop.
it's annoying.
It's for my unmute, which just went off. Anyway,
Y- Okay.
I kind of agree. I think it's up to interpretation, which it's a fair interpretation. Um, my thing is that I think, oh, you'll disagree with this probably, but the aspect that it's highlighting, I think, is more along the lines of rebellion. So it's an action movie. Maybe they wanted to do a different message. They probably could have done it better. But the killing thing is rebellion against current system or whatever, and finding your own meaning and purpose. But I do think it's incel coded, as you say, and that unto itself is incel coded. So, yeah, you are correct. But it is stupid enough that I won't take it seriously. So, yeah, and I think a large amount of audiences probably wouldn't take this seriously. If you end
When
up
I
quoting nobody in an
Yeah,
argument, like, come on.
when I say when I said earlier today that like this is a turn your brain off film done right, I feel like you may have not understood what I meant.
Go on.
When I say that, I mean I'm referring to things like Marvel
Mm.
because current Marvel films, actually almost all of them in my opinion, but that's a story for a different time. Um, you can turn your brain off. You don't have to think about any of the things there. And it's because they're giving you slop, right? They're giving you active slop. You're not. They don't give you anything to think about. This movie, Alex, it's given you something to think about, right? It's given you something to think about, but it's also a silly film that if you want to, you do not have to worry about that to enjoy how batshit insane it is.
I
It's
suppose.
not giving you slop. It's giving you a great film that you can turn your brain off and not worry about that stuff. You can appreciate everything else about the movie. In things such as Marvel or other slop movies such as like that, they're not giving you anything to actively do mentally. They're just it's basically a baby sensory video, right? At least with this
Fucking Paw
movie, they're
Patrol.
making you think about that as you have.
I suppose. And to that I will give the movie credit in the sense that I'm actually when I criticize a movie, I say it's a 4 out of 10. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it. I'm just saying, and honestly, it makes a film better if I actually have the passion to criticize it. I don't fucking criticize most. I don't fucking criticize She-Hulk because I don't get the smoke. It's kind of just a mid. As someone who's watched Real Housewives, it's just a mid version of Real Housewives. Um,
Sorry, go on.
You unlocked Cameron's funny meter.
Sorry, you hit the funny button for me. You mentioned Real Housewives.
look, man, I'm a Real Housewives stan. I watched that
Oh,
shit
let's
religiously when I was
go.
in year 7. Mum and I bonded over watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and New Jersey. I watched Dance Moms for at least 3 seasons before we just were realized, hey, this is just child abuse. So Kaya, you wanted to say something.
It's sort of so. I get the movie is a little bit. It's pretty incest coded, but my sort of opinion.
Incest
Incel.
I'm
coded though.
Incest
Incel.
code.
That's I
Incel.
meant incel. Leave me alone.
I know. It's just funny.
Okay. Basically, this is gonna be a little bit of a weird comparison, but I want you to hear me out on this. So, do you guys know the band 303 or the band Hollywood Undead?
Oh, I know
No.
Hollywood Undead.
There's everywhere I
Fucking
go,
total
bitches
cult.
always know. Yeah, so basically, those bands, especially 303, their entire brand is based on quote unquote misogynist pop. They're like all about like fucking bitches and drinking and like, incel pop. But Hollywood Undead is one of my favorite bands, and I really like 303's old 2000s stuff as well. I was really upset when they cancelled on Going to Good Things Festival a few years ago because I was really looking forward to seeing them. And I think like I quite like a lot of misogynist pop songs because it's a lot of the time it's campy and like I can sort of poke fun at it. Like I like it and I can like be like, haha, this is fucking stupid, but it still kind of slaps, you know. So that's sort of my opinion on Nobody as like an incel movie is like it still kind of goes hard, you know? Like I think there's nothing wrong with like liking Everywhere I Go by Hollywood Undead. Like there's nothing wrong with liking Nobody. It's sort of like it's fun, it's not super serious, and
Feel
yeah, I
free
don't
to
know.
screenshot.
Okay, you've appealed to me with that one because I do have a couple Hollywood Undead things on my playlists.
God, I love
Like
Hollywood and I
Kanye West.
God, not Kanye.
Do not bring
God,
Kanye.
God, I love Hollywood. I
Oh
have
damn.
like,
Okay.
bro, I got like vinyls of Hollywood Undead. I fucking love them. But anyway,
Okay, I agree with you on the Hollywood Undead point, but let me just note, I rated this film a 4 out of 10, not a 0 out of 10. There are aspects of this movie I can enjoy in that Hollywood Undead kind of way. Or I may bring up one that Kaya will get here. What are they called? It's the I guess I'll sleep when I am dead.
set
What
it
are they
off.
called? Yeah, Set It Off. Set It Off is
Set
my
it off is so
Set It Off is
incel
my
coded.
it's so incel coded. There are some Set It Off songs that I just can't stand though, and there are
Beware,
some Hollywood
beware, be
Undead songs.
skeptical.
Yeah, like there's a Set It Off song that I couldn't listen to, which is called Horrible Kids. I can't listen
Oh.
to it because I can always imagine it as like a school shooter singing it. Like, I don't know. It, I like aspects of this film. I will say that. I like the editing. The editing in this film is really well
I
done.
will glaze the editing later on.
Oh my god.
Look,
I'm gonna.
we'll move off me. We'll move off me going down swinging because it's very clearly I'm not winning. But I gotta say, I was
Sugar,
a
we're
bit
going down
disappointed.
swinging?
Sugar,
I
we're
thought we
going down
agreed.
swinging. Look, it's a personal thing for me. If you guys like Nobody, I'm not. It's look, Nobody is not a movie I'm gonna condemn anyone for, liking because it is a good film action-wise. I can never say that Nobody doesn't have good action. I think sometimes the action didn't always land for me, but God, the bus scene is so well choreographed and
Shang-Chi, eat your heart
funny.
out.
Yeah, Shang-Chi, you're hot up, bro. He gets thrown out of the bus, then just proceeds to open up the doors and get back in there. Like,
Riot
can't
shield,
s-
my beloved.
it's like the Lion King,
Bro,
right?
he
If you
hits
dig
the
deep-
book out of the guy's hand and steps on it.
It's like watching the Lion King, right? If you dig deep on the Lion King and
It's
what it's
just
about,
Hamlet. It's just Hamlet.
not just Hamlet, it's about the
It is.
sanctity of kings. Yeah, but it's not just that. If you dig deep on the messages that the Lion King puts forward, it's that there is a racial superiority that they should be king, and if you're not designated king and you team up with the hyenas of society, then God will strike you down.
There's actually
Maharaja
this
says
like
that.
there is
Maharaja, kill this man.
there is this like hyena he specializes in hyenas. He's like a biologist, and he literally says like, don't watch The Lion King because it actually genuinely added like a lot of like misconceptions about hyenas as a whole. Like it like negatively
Yeah.
impacted hyena conservation.
But what I'm saying is, The Lion King, if you dig into the weeds with it, is about like a racial hegemony and superiority and people being in the right place. But I'll be damned, it's a good movie and it could probably convince me to go fight for my country in a war somewhere, right? If any movie would radicalize me, it's The Lion King. Oh, come on, you're telling me you
That's
wouldn't be convinced
me
by
whenever
I would-
me whenever I
would
listen to
shoot
Sabaton.
Simba in the back of the head. I don't care for that movie.
Really?
Well, good for you.
All right,
I like,
that's a movie for a different time.
but I'm saying that in the sense
The
with Nobody.
circle
If I
of
really-
life.
if me a couple years ago would watch Nobody and would go like hell yeah, right? If there's any film which would appeal to me a couple years ago, it's this film. It is a power fantasy, and as much as I don't like that now, me as a kid I'd probably love this film. It's camp. It appeals to that sense of like that sense of like, oh yeah, people underestimate me, and if there's any film that's gonna make me become an insult, it's Nobody. But like right now, me as a current, I can't really enjoy this film for any more than the action and the slight physical comedy. And Bob Odenkirk, Baby Girl, Bob Odenkirk
mean,
adds a
Where's
a
the
point to
goddamn
when
kitty cat bracelet?
okay, that was an
That's what you're
objective
watching
response
this
to that.
movie for, though.
Yeah, but I look, I don't agree with the idea of turning your brain off is all, and I don't know if
But
I
you
can.
didn't.
No, but I'm saying, yeah, that's the point. I didn't, and I actively didn't like the movie as much. If I meant to turn my brain off for something, then I don't know. I just don't like it as much. I do this with media that I really like. Like I can't watch the original Transformers cartoon because I can't turn my brain off. Not because it's like bad. It's just obviously made for someone that isn't me, so I'm not going to enjoy it as much. I can't enjoy the film because I can't put myself in the mindset to just turn my brain off.
The folly of aging.
Um,
Maybe it's just
so
a skill issue, but I just simply can't.
so there's, well, not to pull a not to pull a psychologist on you, Alex, but that may be a
Oh
sign.
god.
I'm kidding. So okay, so moving on from that whole thing, I really want to talk about Julian. I have like genuine notes.
Oh my god.
I've watched a few video essays and like
Look,
short
I'm gonna take
ones,
a step back. Talk about
and
Julian. Talk
I
about
have
your
so
special
much to
Russian
say about
man.
Julian, my little Russian lad. He's so he's so serving cunt. Um,
Aw.
he's
Aw.
serving cunt. Um, so base. So Julian is. So I have like a few sort of things that like sort of tie into each other. So Julian is sort of. I feel like he's a reference to Frank Sinatra. Now hear me out. Um, the guy owns a nightclub. He fucking like he loves singing. He thinks of himself as like this performer, right? And Frank Sinatra, there's a lot of like a lot of people believe that he had a lot of connections to organized crime. And so I really think that Julian is partly at least a reference. I think he's a reference to like villains and like Austin Powers villains and Frank Sinatra. And I just think it's really fucking cool and camp, and I just really like him as a character. He's really interesting for the small amount of time that he's on screen, and as silly and dumb as he is. It's just kind of fun. I don't know. He's the character I'm giving a cookie to later on, so I called dibs. And
I
like,
mean, yeah, I definitely got the Bond villain thing because I used to watch a couple Bond movies when I was younger. He definitely gives off that
it's
camp,
stroking a
greedy.
cat.
Yeah.
You're stroking at a medium pace.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Broke my
god, that's
cock off
spiking.
at a medium pace.
So, another sort of thing that sort of like so did anyone understand why the old guy in the tattoo parlor reacted to Hutch's tattoo, other than just like it's a symbol that he's a serviceman?
Isn't it like that's like a really bad hand in
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
poker or something.
So the 2-7 in poker is considered the worst hand you could possibly get. And so it sort of implies that Hutch was like the last resort in the worst case scenario they sent him in. And
Oh, so it's more
the
cool, yeah.
tattoo symbolism actually ties in with Julian being Russian because in Russia especially, but in other countries as well, but especially in Russia, there's a very big tattoo culture on specific symbols. So, like, um, I can't think of any at the top of my head, but this was a very short special interest of mine a few years ago. Um, but like having like a certain like symbol on a certain area meant something very very specific, especially in prison tattoo and crime organized crime tattoos in Russia. It's sort of similar to like the yakuza in Japan, that like yakuza members have very symbolic tattoos meaning certain things. It's sort of similar to that, and having like the tattoo have this significant symbolism with Hutch and then connecting to the villain being Russian, I just thought was a cool little like thing that they did, because they were also like sort of trying to match each other play for play, like when you're playing cards with someone. And I just think it's really neat and just a cool little niche thing in the movie that people don't really talk about that much, and I just thought it was really cool and I had to bring it up.
I didn't notice that actually. I just thought it was because he was. I thought it was because like people who are in the military just have tattoos.
Well, that's true.
I don't know, Chris. Do you have anything you wanna note on?
Medium pace.
Oh my fucking god.
That's
I
literally it.
I did have another thing, but I'll let other people go first.
I mean,
If
Chris, what was the most enjoyable aspect of this film that you liked?
Stupid violence and
Yeah.
dumb bullshit
Favorite
and
fight scene in
medium
the movie?
pace.
Ooh, favorite fight scene.
I don't know. Fists and shit have a okay. You know when he's doing the Bob Shack and the scene after that, I'm counting as one. Um, where he's got the C4 plate. I think
Mm.
that's probably the funnest because it's a montage. I think it's also to what's that fucking song? It's like Over the Rainbow. It's not Over the Rainbow. See
What a wonderful
trees of
what a wonderful
green. Yeah,
world.
what a wonderful world. That's it. And I just think that's fun camp, you know?
I
It's
love
good stuff.
having
That
like that
was.
sort of songs being I love having like
Yeah,
those sort of songs being played over fight scenes. It's so
yeah.
cliche at this point because it's so commonplace now, but I just love it. It's great.
Yeah, it's good. It was either that or the
A
bus scene,
classic.
but then again, Alex chose the bus scene,
The
so
bus
Oh,
scene's my favorite as well. The
we can have the favorite fight scene. There was no rule saying we can't have the same favorite.
the bus scene is my favorite as well. I fucking love that shit, man. Like I said earlier, and like I said when we watched it last night, Shang-Chi ain't got nothing on that.
yeah,
I
it's
don't know,
fair.
Cameron, as someone who's watched this film many times, what's your favorite fight scene?
Ooh. Oh. I hate to sound generic, but I will have to also say the bus scene. I
Yeah, it
think
is kind of the
it's
most iconic one.
It goes
it's
so
it's
hard.
like it's the no, but like if you want to show nobody to someone, but you like want to get them interested,
Just the bus scene,
just
man.
show them the bus scene.
I never
It could
thought
have been a
seeing a
short
guy.
with the bus
I
scene.
never thought I would see a guy perform a tracheotomy with a straw and think it goes so hard. I will actually
I
say,
will admit,
you're gonna make fun of me for this, but the exact same thing of like doing a tracheotomy in like with a straw, it reminded me of the very first episode of a certain medical drama where they do the same
Oh
thing
my god.
called The
oh
Good
my god.
Doctor,
Oh
where
my
they
fucking
he
And that's
he
god.
it,
does the
guys.
exact
Officially,
same
we hate
thing.
women now.
He does the exact same thing with the straw, and I just thought it was so funny. It's not a reference or anything. I just thought it was funny. I'm like, oh my god.
I
We'll
forget.
dig a little bit deeper on the. Oh yeah, what was it, Chris?
Did he disinfect that straw?
No,
No.
Okay, he's getting an infection and dying. Yippee.
he did die.
But to
Well,
be
actually,
fair,
no, no.
to be
They
fair,
said he'd survived, but with severe brain damage. So it's basically the same thing as
he
being
would
dead.
never walk again.
He would
was
never walk
basically.
again. He's
To be fair,
basically he
the reason
basically has been put into like a vegetative state, which
Yippee!
I can understand why Julian would be pissed. I mean, honestly, Julian is justified in this scenario here. Like,
I will say I did like Julian throwing the chair at that guy. I will say I'll dig a little
Julian
bit deeper
coming
on
in
the.
with the
Was
steel
really
chair.
fun.
I will dig a little bit deeper on the bus scene.
Watch out, watch out.
In the Hot Ones interview, this is my main source. In the Hot Ones interview, Wabonokak does mention something that I did appreciate about this film, because a little bit of backstory without doxing myself. My family enjoys action films. We have a thing where one member of my family won't watch a film unless, close 5 minutes in, there's been like 2 brutal murders.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
love 'em.
really. So
Love that one.
we love watching stuff where people get shot to death and blown up and torn to bits. It's really fun. My parents make a note of watching like Viking and like medieval stuff because people get cut to bits all the time. So I've
Yeah.
seen my fair share of action. But one thing this movie did well that Bob Odenkirk intentionally acted out and intentionally is the fact that Hutch isn't God, what's the name of John McCain from Die Hard? I'll bring that up. Hutch isn't John McCain from Die Hard and doesn't just like get shot then be like, haha, dirtbags. He looks actively afraid when he's in a fight. Like he knows how to fight, but he looks actively afraid. And during the bus scene, it's not something really quick like you'd see in John Wick or Shang-Chi. It's something that's almost like
It's comically
reminds me of
slow.
well, it reminds me of this fight scene I saw in a film that I will link for you guys to watch, but viewers, just look it up. It's a fight scene from They Live.
Oh yes. I
Yeah,
know
it's
exactly-
where,
Oh, yes.
it's where, oh, look, I have lots of thoughts on They Live. Not all of them good, but I in They Live there is a fight scene between coincidentally the same guy who was in Nope and Has Been Hotel, and
Keith
No
David, my
fucking way.
beloved.
No
yep,
fucking
Keith
way it's
David
got
is in
Keith David. No way.
It's a fight between Keith David and the other guy, I forget his name. Um, and it goes on
Keith
for
David mention.
5 minutes of them wrestling over the guy trying to put a set of glasses over Keith David and Keith David just fighting back. And I watched this years ago with one of my best friends and smartest people in Australia. And we were both just like, so why are they still fighting? And that's the same vibe I got from it. It was comically long to the point where it didn't like intrude on the fun of the scene.
Yeah, I think like
Um,
also because Hutch is like he's a little bit out of practice because he's been retired for like however long.
Yeah.
Also,
Do you
the
know where
fact
that scene is in They Live? Because I've got like a YouTube version of the full movie just right here, and I can bring it up.
hold on,
I'm not
I
putting
will
it in.
use
I'm
it.
not putting
Oh,
it
never
in.
mind. The fight scene is there. I found. Okay.
By the way, just to say, Bob Odenkirk did pretty much all the stunts by himself.
Yeah,
Which,
I think
how old is
Oh my
he
god,
now?
Tom Cruise?
Bob Odenkirk is
They didn't
He's-
like
He
that
was
one.
58.
Hey
no,
yo.
no, I liked it. Yeah, he's 61, but he was 58 then. Yeah.
Damn.
He is a geezer, but he's a lovable geezer. Um, yeah, no, I really appreciated the fact that the film made the active choice to make their character not necessarily invincible. Like he's smart,
John
but
Wick.
yeah, okay, I have issues with the John Wick movies, but the character isn't invincible, and whilst I still don't like the power fantasy, I will give them credit where credit is due. That Hutch, as a power fantasy character, is a little bit more, dare I say, believable.
I don't know, man. The car scene.
Okay, yeah, that was a bit
Look,
weird.
he's
The
not
car
fucking Batman,
scene.
okay?
The car
Actually, no, he
scene?
is. No, he is. Didn't you see that thing where like he
Oh.
broke into the house and then he was like, and then he just came out of the darkness? Bro is Batman. Have you ever?
Okay, sure.
Bro was Batman. Bro was Alex literally called it as we were watching it.
Batman.
Holy shit,
um
guys, it's Batman.
so before we glaze the editing, there's just another I have just another little niche little thing to bring up that I just thought was cool. So you know how he steals the Van Gogh painting and he walks out of the building with it and everything?
Yeah.
So basically, that specific painting is his childhood bedroom where he made 3 different versions of it from memory. And the one that Hutch was carrying was the second version. So it was still like a quote unquote like work in progress, you know what I mean? And so it's sort of a bit of a reference to the fact that he's in like the second part of his life now with like a family, and he's like but he's also still working on himself. I don't know, I just thought it was a really cool little reference. Um
That is neat.
I think is
Damn,
I think
okay.
I just think it's neat. And now can we glaze the editing?
Yes,
Okay.
we can finally
Please.
get to it.
Oh my god,
This is the
oh
part
my
where
god,
I'm
oh my
mute.
fucking god, oh my god, the fucking scene at the beginning where it's like going through like how mundane and monotonous and boring his fucking life has become, and it's just like rapidly cutting between. Oh my god, it was so fucking good. Bro, so basically, for the viewers, I tried to watch this movie by myself, but it kept lagging to the point that it was almost unwatchable. But I was able to watch like the first probably half an hour of it, and I was sitting there and I'm like, oh my god, nutting. It's so fucking good, and like especially the specific shots that they used and the order. I don't know, it was just so fucking cool. Oh my god, it was so good.
What did you think, Cameron? You're also an editor, aren't you? You filthy fucking edit.
Okay, I will limit myself to a singular sentence on this.
Oh.
Now, my English teacher is gonna hate me because this sentence is really fucking long, but oh my god, do I love this movie! Holy shit, the editing department is amazing.
popped off.
Just and again, the same people who made Hardcore Henry. If you haven't watched that, watch it for the editing and cinematography alone. Because holy shit, they cook. They cook, and it's really fucking cool. Just I need to stop myself because there are too many things that I could talk about.
I mean, you can talk about like at least one. Oh, okay. Yo, the person who edited this, I mentioned it whilst we were watching it, but the person who edited this actually was on the editorial department of Bullet Train, and the
Yeah,
Oh,
edit
is that?
fucking
editor.
exactly.
Is
That's
that why you brought up Bullet Train? I had no idea why you
No, no,
why you
no,
brought
I
it up.
didn't. I didn't. But and the movie slightly reminds me of Bullet Train, but I see why. And the other one was an editor on the Punisher TV series.
Oh
Not as
dear.
many accolades. Um, but one of them, Evan Schiff, was editor for this film. He's done John Wick 3, Star Trek Into Darkness,
Hey yo.
The Marvels. Maybe I gotta check out the Marvels. No, actually, I'm not gonna do that to myself.
No, don't do it.
But
Don't do it to
no,
yourself.
don't do
was-
that.
He was editor.
From
The person who did this was the editor for Bullet Train is one of the biggest examples here.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Like
Chris.
this okay, I will say the way that they did, like, okay, I'm a sucker for unique shot transitions.
If you talk about Dutch angles, I'm gonna lose it.
No, not Dutch ankles. I'm never mentioning Dutch ankles. I think they're overused and overhyped, and they don't actually look that great.
Damn you, Sam Raimi.
Okay, Sam Raimi is the only one that can do it well. But anyways, that's different time. Different time. Um, I think, like, I'm a sucker for unique shot transitions, and this movie it doesn't make any unique ones, but it uses very well established ones insanely well, and it just complements the choreography of all the fight scenes just so perfectly. And I'm like, oh my god, I want to suck your massive cock after this. Please don't take that audio bite out of context.
All right, so I'm
Um,
sucking
on,
Travis.
on
So I'm sucking Travis Knight's cock. Cameron, whose cock are you sucking again?
Oh, what's the name of him? What's his name, Alex?
The name is.
Who was
I think
the
it's Evan,
lead editor?
Evan Schiff and William. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
All right, so we just need like Alex and Chris to eventually on this podcast have someone whose dick they suck.
Chris, you were gonna mention something before Cameron proceeded to orgasm over the editing. What was it?
I don't remember anymore, man.
Damn.
Sorry.
I don't know. The film made sense. Congratulations, editing achieved. Very nice.
Yippee!
It's
Yippee!
a shockingly low bar, yet a bar nonetheless.
Oh yeah, we're taught like in film school. So in my post-production classes, they like say like the film gets written 3 times. In pre-production, in production, and in post-production. The editor does the third rewrite, basically, or the third write of it. And the way that they did it was so fucking good. Oh my god. Oh my god. I have no words to describe how much I was fawning over the fucking editing of the entire movie. It's so good.
That's
Damn.
what I'm saying.
Nutting.
Bruh.
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 So,
Anyways,
do we want to
do
get to
we wanna
cookies?
Yeah, we'll
I
do cookies and then
suppose,
final
yeah.
rating.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So the reason why I called dibs on Julian was so you know how I brought up that he's sort of a Frank Sinatra type, right?
Yeah.
So I'm giving Julian a lemon cookie because one of Frank Sinatra's favorite desserts is a lemon ricotta, like tart sort of torte thing. It's sort of like a cheesecake. It's like a lemon cheesecake basically. So I'm giving him a lemon cookie because it's Frank Sinatra reference.
Nice.
I did
Uh,
research. I literally looked up what is Frank Sinatra's favorite cookie.
That's public information.
It's not, but it was
Yeah.
like, what are his favorite foods? And one of them was like this lemon cheesecake-esque thing, and I'm like, lemon cookie.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's kind of funny.
That's actually pretty good. I'm gonna pick an unorthodox one because I don't want to step on anyone's toes, and because they were objectively the funniest character in the film.
Teddy.
Bus Goon 1. So,
Huh?
if you remember, during the bus scene, a bunch of goons come out of a car, you know, gooners, and
Shut the fuck up.
one of them proceeds to slap the window and go, "Bus!" And he's the first one to come in, and then he sees some guy reading, and he just slaps it out
Slaps
of
the
his
book.
hand, and then he's the one who...
And then when
and
the
I'm
guy
pretty
goes to try to
sure-
pick up the book, he steps on the book so he can't pick it up, and so the
then-
guy just leaves.
And then he gets his teeth knocked out by Saul Goodman, and then he gets a chair thrown at him by Julian.
Julian with the steel chair.
Yeah.
Where he just
so-
walks in and throws a chair at him.
So, you know what? Considering he got his teeth knocked out, he's gonna need a soft cookie. So I'm going to give him Jaffa Cake cookies. Because if you've ever had a Jaffa Cake, they're tasty, they're chocolate, a little bit of orange jelly, and a nice, very soft cookie that you don't need to chew on very much. You could basically, like, slightly
You can
tenderize
use your
them.
gums.
You can basically use your gums to eat a good Jaffa cake, right? So he's gonna get a Jaffa cake cookie because, by God, he's gonna need it after the brain damage from the steel chair and having his teeth absolutely knocked in.
Every-
Busgoon 1.
Every
I'll
time I
collect it.
remember the chair. Julian coming in with the steel chair. Watch out, he is. Okay.
Okay, I'll be giving David, my favorite character,
The
a
old
chocolate
man with
crinkle
the
cookie.
shotgun.
Yeah. I'll be giving him a chocolate crinkle cookie. Because he's old and fucking wrinkly. And that's it. That's my entire opinion.
Hey, leave
I-
leave the Back to the Future guy alone.
No, he's great, and that's why I'm giving him one of my favorite cookies.
And Chris?
I'd like to give Adam Sandler the jaw because he needs to whack off.
Okay.
Okay, no, that's it. That's perfect.
That's what made Adam Sandler part of this film.
Adam
So,
Sandler
you
isn't even in the fucking
Integral.
movie.
He is to me.
She is very gorgeous to me.
Well,
Does
a
anyone
little bit
understand that reference, or is it just me?
No.
No, that's just you.
It's
No.
an old Vine. This dude
Oh
just
my
like
God, of
pops up.
course you referenced
Oh no, it's
Vine.
these guys and they're like laughing about some chick or whatever, and this dude just pops in like, she is very gorgeous to me.
And with that, a little bit more of a light-hearted and less deep episode than last week's. Shall we spin the wheel?
Let's spin the wheel. Spin that wheel.
Maybe
Move
this one
that
will- maybe
bus.
this one will be,
Spin
God,
the
if we-
jaw.
we
Spin
come
it.
close to getting fucking... Okay, are we ready? Is everyone watching my stream?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Watch
Okay.
me whack off.
3, 2,
Can you spin
one.
at a medium pace?
I'm sorry, man. This is the only pace it spins at.
Oh,
It's
no.
medium
Okay.
now.
Oh. Yes! Alex, you called it! Alex, you called it! Alex literally said last night, I am hoping that we get there close. Oh my god! I just
So
spiked
close.
my audio so hard there. I'm
My
sorry,
audio.
viewers.
I think I peaked my mic.
I
Holy
peaked
shit.
my mic. Holy shit.
None of
I
us-
peaked my mic for peak. Let's go.
Let's fucking go!
Years ago, I saw this as a YouTube like a trailer on YouTube, and Oh my god, I was so startled by what the trailer did because I have no clue what it's about. It's a John Boyega,
I'm so
Jamie Foxx
excited.
film.
I'm so
We
excited.
and then I showed this to these guys and we were all like, what the fuck is They Clone Tyrone? So next week we
The
are going
guy
to be
who wrote on Rise of the Beasts.
The fact that we almost got fucking End of Evangelion and instead
God.
we got They Clone Tyrone.
I'm really thankful that we
I'm
didn't
so
get
glad.
End of
I'm glad that
Evangelion.
we didn't get Evangelion so early. I want it for later on.
So
Yeah.
to be fair, I think Chris is the one who put this on his list. So Chris actually has to introduce this film next week.
Hold on, I'll check. I feel
Wait,
like Alex. I feel like you
swear
put
No,
it
I
on.
think it was you, Alex.
Alex, it
think
was
I
You
you.
put that on yours, man. I didn't do
Hold on,
shit.
I'll check, but I'm pretty sure it was you,
I
Alex.
think I put a bunch of Adam Sandler's on mine.
No, I'm pretty sure you put They Clone Tyrone on there because like I basically convinced you to put it on there.
No,
No,
hold on.
I
I'm
swear
checking.
you did.
It's in a
Hold
VC
on.
It
chat,
is
isn't
on
it?
Chris's.
Real?
It's on Chris's. I have a
really?
I have a screenshot. It's on Chris's. Well, because none of us had space on our list to put it on, so we told him to put it on his list.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
And then I showed the trailer to Chris, and Chris was like, "I want to watch this film."
Chris's list
are we
is the
still
most
recording?
interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let it be known, I did this as a joke. I don't know what this film is. I've never watched it.
Well,
Wait, we
you
have to do
better.
the
Well,
intro
you
next
have to
week,
introduce
yeah.
it next week, so you better be
Oh,
prepared. You better come
shit.
with notes.
Adam Sandler, save me.
And on that note, our lovely viewers, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week in the cookie jar.